All right, we got a Q&A session for anybody that has questions. I know I got a live audience here with me today, so I'm gonna call on if she has any points that she wants me to clarify, and we'll go over them. Tanoa, any questions? How can I make this simpler for anybody trying to understand the foundations, how to heal themselves, how to...
Where do you start?
Okay.
Where's a good place to start when you hear what you're saying, you're seeing a pattern, you're ready to change? How can one start to...
I would say
What am I trying to
this.
say here?
I would say
What am I
this. Where do
asking
we
you for?
start? You're right. Where do we start? You're telling me all this information, but where do you start? Okay. First things first, I would join my free school community where I talk about this. Real talk. We're going over the foundations. I give you a complete rundown on all the foods, from going out to learning about carbs, learning about glycemic index, learning about how to do the 80-20, right? Do the foundations. You're going to get the majority of the results. Okay. But where do you start? We got to know what we're eating. That's number one. What am I eating? Okay, there's a lot of free softwares out there. The first thing I would say is get on MyFitnessPal. It's free. Okay, I use it for my clients. It makes it simple. It starts to break down in this pie area, just as I did, the different ratios of carbs, fats, proteins. Okay, cool. We understand the big things. Now it's not only going to tell you not only is it going to tell you what the ratios are, it's going to tell you how much energy is going in the system. So if your goal is losing weight, if your goal is putting on muscle, if your goal is going from diabetic to healthy, we got to understand what are the ratios, what are we eating, and how much calories or energy are we eating. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, because I think that's a misconception a lot of people have is
Can you speak in the microphone, please?
right, I'm going to go on a diet, so I have to eat less.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's more you just need to know the nutritional value and the caloric intake, instead of having to cut out a bunch of good foods. You just have to
Absolutely.
cut out
Absolutely.
certain types of bad foods to
Absolutely. You
achieve the
you're
nutrition
you're right
that
on
will
you're
help your
right on
results.
cue with that, because like I said in the very beginning, just because these are natural foods or whole foods doesn't mean we're going to lose weight, because we really have to get down to how much energy is going into our body. If we recognize that we're energy, we have to know how much energy is going in, and then on another level understand what are the ratios of different energies are we eating. And when we can get to that understanding, then we are already doing some things that are great. A lot of us are eating a lot of these foods that are already great, but we need to know what we're eating and how much of it we're eating. And that's going to lead to the overall result.
That makes sense.
Yeah? Okay, any more questions? We can go over anything right now in this short amount of time. The idea here is to make it very simple. I know now we got through this whole thing, rewatch this again, okay? But when we understand energy, we understand food. It's not about whether or not you're good enough or not. It's not a morality thing. We gotta understand that we are energy. And when we align with how much energy, the right types of foods, moving our body naturally, all these goals that you want on the outside, how you want to feel, how you want to look, are going to change and transform. But more importantly, it's this perspective shift and some information gaps. And that's why I'm glad to be teaching, glad to be showing what I learned. And we want to make it clear. We want to make it easy. Okay. So the way we do that is we remove the doubt. We answer questions when we can. And yeah, last round, any more questions over really the foundations of food? What questions?
Okay, so for most people that have had a certain type of diet that they've convinced themselves they've had to have because it's cheaper or because it's just what's easiest for them in their job situation. How do you go from feeling like you can transition into a healthy lifestyle without breaking the bank, and or are there any frozen foods that actually advertise that they're good for you to eat when you're
Mm.
losing weight that are actually good for you to eat, or is it better to just like make your own salads every day? Like what's the easiest way to transition from not so great food to better food
Okay.
without
First thing I would do, first thing I would do is find foods that you like. Find foods that you like right off the jump, okay? Inside of carbs, fats, proteins, there's going to be foods that you do like. Whether we're talking about fats and you like nuts, or you like, coconut oil, or you like avocado oil, you like using those, or you like fatty fishes, or in carbs if you like sweet potatoes, if you like lentils, right? These are different carbs. They're still carbs, but it's not eating a box of crackers. It's not eating sugar. It's not just eating cakes. It's eating carbs that have nutrients in them, that have slow, steady energy in them. And when we talk about proteins, we can talk about eggs, we can talk about fishes, we can talk about clean beefs, we can talk about how there is plant proteins, we can talk about cottage cheese, we can talk about proteins that are better for us, instead of just eating bacon and sausages, instead of just getting real fatty, poor quality meats. When we start cleaning up our energy, and I believe strongly in making food taste good. It's so important, because a big misconception is that it won't be good. That just because it's healthy, it won't be good. That's not true.
I'm realizing as I'm like mulling over, oh my gosh, like there are probably a lot of recipes. You actually just wrote a whole book about this. Your latest book is literally about the difference of changing diets, etc. So, not to plug, but plug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And there's food is medicine. There's a powerful one that I wrote, what to eat, when to eat it. Oh, it's great. It's formatted very simply. A lot, just a lot of less reading, more clarity, color coded meals, just to start shifting our natural rhythms of food and start to work with our body and work with energy, work with nature, so that it's easier for us, instead of us fighting against the grain. We're going with energy, with our meals, with our movement, and definitely check it out. But I'm gonna wrap it up. If there's any questions, always comment. I'll get to them when I can, and I look forward to building great health and prosperity with y'all. God bless. Peace.